Hey everyone, Coach Sullivan here again with you from MGS Coaching Football. Briefly, my background, this is my 38th year coaching football, and I've either been a defensive, offense, special teams coordinator, or head coach at both the collegiate and high school levels for all 38 years. So what I want to continue talking to you about here is what we call our Plug Family Blitz package. Um, the plug being B gap to B gap, as it says up here. So, we don't reinvent the wheel. A, B, A, B. So tackle to tackle, B gap to B gap. That's what we call the plug family. And 8 different players have a plug blitz, both inside and outside linebackers, and even the DBs, both safety and corners, have either an A or B gap blitz, in some cases both. Okay, so just quickly how we call it. The 50 front. 50 is our base 3-4 front. Bob is our backer stunt. Anything that begins with the letter B, the backer is the primary blitzer. Then the Lucky Ringo blitz call goes to the backer. The backer himself makes the call. And I'll get into all of that. The O, Bill, is backer in, A gap, BI. The O, backer out, B gap. Okay, to us, it's either inside gap is A, outside gap is B in the plug family. Okay, and small, again, we use coffee sizes to designate. So small, medium, large. As an example, small is for a 4-man pressure. I'm not going to talk about the coverage yet beyond that today, but that's how we call it. So 50, okay, Bob, small, run it. All righty. So first of all, again, our family, we teach the nose that Bob, the backer's in B, so therefore you go to the call. If it's a Ringo, you go right. If it's a Lucky, you go left. Any Ringos involves the stud because the stud is always on the right. Any Luckies involve the end because the end's always on the left. Red signifies the primary blitzer, and the green signifies who else is part of the blitz. Usually, we're talking about the defensive line, but not always. Could be a secondary blitzer in a 5+ man pressure. Okay. So what I want to talk about briefly is the stance. We always have a staggered stance with inside foot up, so that's our disguise. Guys who have toes even when they blitz tend to stagger their stance, which is a major tip-off. Well, we don't do that. The thing that we do emphasize is having that up foot more weight on the front toe so they can just dig off and go. So we always say dig the toe and go, dig and go, dig and go, dig and go. All right, no false steps. Well, if you're in a staggered stance and you're digging off the front toe, your first step should be with the back foot forward. Now, we talk about near edge in a bob. The near edge is the B-gap fin or the outside fin shoulder of the guard. It's to us. We're deflecting and beating it up the field into the B-gap. You got to beat it. You cannot be blocked. And if it's away from us, now the backer realizes he's backside, so he's got to bend off the near edge. Okay? Now, what it is meant by automatic readout, since it's a B gap near edge, if this guard or this tackle, either one of the in his surface, goes away from him inside towards the ball, he's going to read out and now become the backside inside linebacker that he always is. With the toe at 4, taking those by your second step, you should be reading out. And I'm not going to waste him blitzing him upfield like a crazy man when the ball's running over here. That's a waste. So that's what's meant by the readout. Okay? So again, to reiterate, we use Lucky Ringo as the blitz call. We've never really had a problem with that. I mean, the offense has its own calls and everything. It's got to make kids trying to figure out what's what and protection and who to block and so on and so forth. If it becomes an issue, we have changed the codes and the kids know them ahead of time, and we've even had to do it in the middle of a game. It's not a big issue. If it was, I wouldn't be giving it to you here in the presentation. So LNR, Ringo is right, Lucky is left. So again, anything begins with B is the backer. Consequently, when we do install, since it's mirrored, we teach Bob and the same blitz for the Mike linebacker, Monty, in the same day. Okay? So when we install Bob, we install Monty at the same time because nothing changes. The family rules, right? The nose, MO, Mike's out in B gap, so he goes A gap to the call. If it's a lucky end nose, he's involved C gap to the call. Same reason, because they understand how everybody fits. We're not asking everybody to know 11 different assignments. We're only asking them to know how it affects their assignment. Okay? So, again, to reiterate, begins with an M, it's the Mike. Begins with a B, it's the backer. MO for us in the Plug family is the B gap. And I is the A gap when it comes to the linebackers. As always, if you have any questions at all, please reach out to me at CoachMJSullivan@gmail.com and I'll get back to you as fast as I can.